So today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about equations in two variables. But let's start by talking about what an equation is. An equation is just simply something like this. X plus 5 is equal to 10. So I know you know that the answer to this is going to be 5 is the value for x that works, but an equation is just something that has the following elements to it. It has an expression, and then it has an equal sign, and then it has another expression there. So to have an equation, you gotta have an equal sign. That's an important thing here. And most of the time, when you're solving an equation, you're trying to figure out what the variable's value is worth. So that one there, pretty easy. But when you have two variables, it's going to look something like this. So I'm looking for something now, and that's a little bit different. I'm looking for the value that works, that makes it so that whatever value of x plus that is equal to the value of y. So let's talk about this for a minute. If I say that x's value is 5, and I'm going to use that xy pairing from the coordinate plane that's in the back of my room. So if x is 5 in this, then 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. If x's value is instead 1, then 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. And if x's value is 2, then 2 plus 5, y has to be equal to 7. So there's actually an infinite amount of solutions to this, but the idea is that when you have an x and a y in an equation together, they interact with each other, and when one value changes, the other value changes as well. But the important thing is it has to make it so that this is still a true statement. So in this type of problem, what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out which one of these two pairs, I've got two pairs here. This is a point 0, 1, so remember it's x and y. And this pair here is again x and y. Which one of these works? And the way I do that is by plugging in the values up where y and x are up here and seeing what makes it true. So for this first one, I'm going to plug in exactly where the y goes. I'm going to put a 1 is equal to 2 times the x's value is 0, so I plug in a 0 there, plus 1. What's 2 times 0? That's 0, so you end up with 1 is equal to 1. That is a true statement, so yes, this one works. So now if I try the same thing over here, my y value is negative 2, so I'm going to plug in negative 2 just like I did there, is equal to 2 times 5 just like I did there, plus 1. So I end up with negative 2 is equal to 10 plus 1. Negative 2 is equal to 11. So that's not true, so no, that is not a solution. So if I have this equation here, y plus 2x is equal to 5, and I'm trying to figure out the values that work for it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a chart here. An x and a y chart. And let's say I always choose 0, 1, and 2 for my x values. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 0 for that and see what happens. Y equals y plus 2 times 0, because that's where that x is equal to 5. So y plus 2 times 0 is just going to be 0. It's equal to 5. So my value when x is 0, y has to be equal to 5. Now let's try with this one here. Instead I have now y, don't know what y is yet, plus 2 times 1 is equal to 5. So y plus 2 is equal to 5. Y is going to be equal to 3. So I'll subtract 2 from both sides. So when x is 1, y is going to be 3. And the last one here, when x is 2, I'm going to do it again, y plus 2 times 2 is equal to 5. Going to end with y plus 4 is equal to 5. Subtract 4 from both sides, you end with y is equal to 1. So when x is 2, y is going to be 1. And we're going to spend a whole lot of time on this. This introduction to this important algebraic concept and graphing, which we're going to tackle tomorrow in another video. But the whole concept of this is that you're trying to plug in values and seeing what works, and then trying to come up with your own points that work as well.